Have you ever walked into a space that felt just right? Well, design lovers, that's the magic of good design. So in today's video, I'm sharing 10 pro interior design rules that you should never break. These are the time-tested tips and professional designer dimensions that will help you create a home that looks pulled together, feels welcoming, and stands the test of time. Whether you're starting from scratch or tweaking an existing space, these principles will make sure every corner of your home reflects your style and works for your life. Every great design starts with a purpose. So ask yourself, how do I want to feel in this room? Should it be calm and cozy, creative and social, or nurturing and restful? The feeling you want to create in a space is your design North Star. It makes your decisions easier and gets you laser focused on the real goal for the space. Once you've identified the mood and feeling you want, think about how the room will be used. Is it a personal space that you unwind and relax in, or is it more of a social space that you'll share with your family and friends? Is it a space that you'll use to pursue hobbies, or do you need the room to function as a dedicated workspace or an activity area for watching movies, playing games, and spending time with your family? These functional needs, along with the feeling you want to achieve in your room, are the compass to good design. It's personal, it's considered, and if there's one design rule to follow, this is it. Because when you design not only to create a pretty space, but to be thoughtful about how you want a room to feel and function, your space will not only look good, it'll feel good, and it will work for your lifestyle. Creating a sense of rhythm in your home is essential for a cohesive look, and I think a lot of times when we're drawn to beautiful rooms online or in magazines, it's because there's rhythm in the design that makes the spaces feel cohesive and like the rooms are all chapters of the same book. So to achieve this harmony in designing your home, start by repeating key colors and materials throughout your rooms. This is called cadence. For example, if you use brass finishes in your light fixture in one room, carry that brass tone through to another space in the hardware or decor. Or if you have beautiful wood paneling in one space, that same wood tone could pop up in a piece of furniture in an adjacent room. Think of it like a song where you see notes pop up on a sheet of music. And when they're repeated in various ways, they create harmony throughout your home. Then layer your colors. Start by building your color palette out in the main rooms of your home and carry a few of those colors throughout your spaces as accents. In my home, I've got the same deep charcoal color on my mudroom paneling, then on my kitchen and great room windows, and repeat it again on my stair rail. When you repeat colors like this, it unifies a space. Also, build depth by layering tones of colors in your rooms. For instance, I've got a minky brown on my sofa, a creamy toasted caramel on my chairs, and a rich chocolate brown on accent pillows. Layering tones creates visual depth and makes your space feel more sophisticated. Think of it like creating a painting. Each layer adds richness. Every room needs a focal point. It's what draws your eye in and anchors the design. Maybe it's a meaningful piece of art, a dramatic light fixture, a view outside to a breathtaking natural vista, or it could be unique architectural features like a fireplace or dramatic millwork. Whatever you decide it is, use it as the focal point of the space and let it guide your decisions. Arrange your furniture to highlight it. Pull colors and textures from it for the rest of the room, and use lighting to celebrate it and make it stand out even more. A strong focal point adds clarity to your design and ensures the room feels interesting, balanced, and personal to you and the architecture, history, or location of your home. Furniture that's too big or too small can throw off the look of an entire room. So it's important to stick to time-tested furniture proportions for your spaces. For a coffee table, you're generally going to want to be somewhere between 16 to 18 inches high and come reasonably close to the seating height around the table, like the sofas and chairs. Standard sofa and chair seat heights are generally around 17 to 18 inches. And by making sure that your coffee table follows suit, you'll ensure that it's easy to use. If you happen to have more modern upholstery in your space with low slung seats, you'll want to adjust your coffee table height appropriately. As for the length of your table, I recommend about 2/3 the length of your sofa with an 18-inch walkway. Side tables should generally be 24 to 26 inches tall and within 2 to 4 inches of the height of your sofa arm. If you like to sit up straight on your sofa, go with a seat depth that's under 22 inches. If you want a loungy vibe, opt for a seat depth that's 23 to 26 inches. And if you're looking for club chairs or other upholstery pieces that will keep sight lines clear in open concept spaces, make sure the back height stays around 36 to 40 inches. Dining tables are almost always 36 inches tall and need at least 36 inches of clearance around them for chairs. Now, I prefer plenty of space for a comfortable dining chair and elbow room around a dining table. So with that in mind, if you want to seat 4 people, 48-inch diameter table will do. For 6 people, you'll need a 60-inch round or at least a 72-inch long oval or rectangle. For 8 people, I like a 96-inch long table, and if you need to seat 10, it needs to be around 120 inches long if you don't want to feel cramped. For dining chairs, if you want to be able to set a beautiful tablescape and it be fully in view and not hidden behind the backs of your chairs, the backs don't need to be much higher than 36 inches. Bedside chests need to generally be 24 to 30 inches tall and fall within 2 to 3 inches of your mattress height. And I prefer 24 to 30 inches wide for a twin, full, or queen bed, and 30 to 48 inches wide for a king-size bed. Following these furniture proportions will make your space feel polished and also ensure that all the furniture in your home functions beautifully for you. Sight lines are the secret to a well-designed home. Think about what you see as you move through your space. Create visual moments with thoughtfully styled vignettes like a layered console table or a bookshelf. Or if you have the opportunity to highlight architectural details like arches or the view of a window or door, do so. To keep things interesting, play with contrast. For example, the view into a more saturated space or the glimpse at the juxtaposition of light walls with dark furniture or art. Repetition, like a series of matching sconces or pendants down a hallway, or a peek of a gallery wall through a doorway. And surprise, like an unexpected moody color in a dining room that's visible from the kitchen, or a sculptural statement piece at the end of a hallway. These touches make your home feel dynamic and inviting and add that layer of surprise, mystery, and discovery to your spaces. This is probably one of my favorite design rules and one that I see being forgotten about in so many new builds and spec homes. I'd love to hear what you think about the designer rule so far, so let me know in the comments. And be sure to connect with me over on Instagram, Pinterest, and our blog at Ashley Childers Home, where I share more design inspiration and tips for creating a home that you love. Properly hung art and mirrors are the finishing touches that elevate a room. So here are my golden rules. The standard height of artwork that is hung on an open wall should be centered on your eye level. So generally hang the center of your artwork at 57 to 60 inches from the floor. When you're hanging art over furniture, leave 6 to 9 inches between the top of the furniture and the bottom of the frame. Over beds or large furniture pieces, I like to choose art or a mirror that's around 2/3 the width of the furniture below it. And for a gallery wall or grid, you want the center of the display to be somewhere around eye level, so 57 to 60 inches again. Now, I'm just gonna say, if you're going for a more artistic approach to displaying art, do what you want. Hang a painting off center, nestle a piece of artwork under a lamp or on a bookshelf. Get creative. I personally like to add a bit of tension to a room sometimes with an unconventional way of hanging art and mirrors. But if you want a timeless look, the proportions I shared ensure your walls will feel balanced and intentional. Now, nothing sets the mood of a room like lighting. Lighting isn't just functional, it sets the tone of a space. And layering different types of lighting creates atmosphere, depth, focal points, and flexibility in your rooms. So you'll want to layer a combination of these 3 types of lighting. First, ambient lighting, also known as general lighting. This is the primary source of light in a room and is used to create a comfortable level of brightness. So this is lighting that fills the room, like recessed cans, chandeliers, and large pendants, or even a combination of light fixtures. Task lighting is table lamps, floor lamps, articulated sconces, and under cabinet lights that are used for a specific activity like reading or cooking. And accent lighting is wall washes, puck lights, spotlights, or sconces that highlight art or architectural features. The pro tip for lighting is to layer it. Combine ambient, task, and accent lighting in your rooms to create levels of light. And don't forget the dimmers. They're an easy way to adjust the atmosphere of a room and make sure that you get the most function and mood out of your home's lighting. A well-scaled rug grounds a room and ties everything together. It's the base layer of your space, so here are some pro rug tips that will come in handy. In the living room, family room, or game room, where you've got a dedicated seating area, you're probably going to need at least an 8x10 rug, or depending on the size of your space, a 9x12 or even an 11x14. This large rug should fit under all the furniture in your seating area, or at the very least, the front legs of the sofa and chairs, but I like all the legs to be on the rug. For the dining room, choose a large rug that is big enough for all the chairs to stay on it when pulled out from the table. So generally at least an 8x10. And in the bedroom, 9x12 or larger is usually my choice, but no smaller than an 8x10 for a queen bed and a 9x12 for a king bed. For an entryway, depending on the size of the area, a 5x8 or 6x9 rug usually works well for most entry spaces. Just keep in mind you want the edge of your rug to fall somewhere between 12 to 24 inches from the walls. And for a hall or kitchen runner, try to keep it at least 2/3 the width of the space. Narrow runners are not your friend. Lastly, if you have a rug you love and it's not large enough for the space, don't be afraid to layer it on top of a tonal natural fiber rug. This option is a great way to take advantage of a rug you already have or love and ensures your space feels proportional and cohesive. Window treatments instantly add softness to a room and can be a great way to layer in pattern, texture, or color to your space. I suggest using full-length drapery in spaces where you want to add a layer of softness and elegance, like your dining room, living room, or bedrooms. Hanging your drapery rod at least 6 to 12 inches above the window casing is ideal if you want to give your room more height, and extending your drapery rod out from the sides of your window trim at least 12 to 18 inches will make your windows appear larger. Opt for Roman shades or cafe curtains in kitchens and bathrooms for privacy and light control. For Roman shades, if you have beautiful window trim, hang them on the inside of the casings. If you want to beef up your windows visually, go for a size that's slightly larger than the trim and hang them over the outside of the casing. For cafe curtains, usually an inside mount is the most practical, with the height of the curtain falling in line with the grills or the sash. In spaces where privacy isn't a concern, but softness is desired, choose loose European-style valances in soft drapey fabrics for a laid-back but elevated look. Finally, the most important designer rule is to make it personal. Include pieces you love, an inherited heirloom, mementos from your travels, or art that resonates with you. These elements tell your story and give your home soul. No designer trick can replicate the warmth of a space filled with things that matter to you. My favorite pieces in my home are the vintage treasures that I've spent a lifetime collecting. They add so much soul and character to our spaces, and I love decorating with them. Now, if you love using unique pieces in your home and want my expert tips on shopping for and styling vintage and antique treasures, watch this video next.